Happy New Year, my beautiful daughter. May God continue to bless you and keep you healthy and safe. I love you, and I'll talk to you in 2024 if I don't hear from you before the strike of 12. But when I do, you already know. The old man loves you. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Enjoy.
So how has your year been?
Where do I start? This year has been trying in ways that I have never expected or honestly could have prepared myself for. In February of this year, I was living in Atlanta at the time, and I woke up on February 1st, and my vision was completely distorted. And I called my mom. She's like my safe haven. I called her freaking out, trying to tell her, Mom, I can't see straight right now. I don't know like what's going on. And she told me, hey, maybe you just didn't get enough rest. Try to go back to sleep. So I did. And when I woke up, my vision was still the same. And so my best friend and my roommate, they jumped into action. And within the next 2 days, I seen 2 retina specialists. And I also went to the emergency room, and they diagnosed me with diabetic retinopathy. With diabetic retinopathy, it will attack your eyes and cause blindness, which is what happened to me. Bad blood vessels had formed behind my eye. They burst, which caused blood, which caused the blindness. In order to get the best care that I needed, like medical care, I had to move back to my hometown in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And within 2 days of moving back, I was undergoing an emergency laser surgery to get rid of the blood. My eye surgeon, Dr. Beaver, did tell me that down the line, there's a chance that we would have to go in for another surgery in both of my eyes for retina detachment. My first surgery that I had was in February. Then I wound up having to get the retina detachment surgery because my retina was detaching from my eyes. Going into the following surgeries, I was afraid because I genuinely could not have prepared myself for what was to come. And I did not, although it was extremely severe, I didn't realize how severe it was until I seen the doctors. And so we moved forward with the retina detachment surgeries. They're called vitrectomies. And after surgery, I had to keep my head down for 5 days. I had to take endless amounts of eye drops. I was going to appointments every few weeks. My eye surgeon was giving me eye injections just to make sure that the medicine was getting into my eyes. It was fairly intense. Throughout that process, my family, my friends, my community, they stepped up tremendously, and that's something I don't think I'll ever be able to thank them enough for. After all this happening, life kind of was at a bit of a standstill. There was a lot that I couldn't do that I was missing, as like being independent, just working, being able to drive, being able to just read or even write. It's something that we as people kind of take for granted until we realize it's something that's taken away from us. A few months after surgery, June came around, and I was informed by my mom that my father was in the hospital and was asking to see me. And for a little bit of context, I had not always been close with my father. When I got the news that he was sick, I immediately, any feeling I may have had gone out the door. I just wanted to be there for him. I didn't really understand the state or the severity of his sickness until I seen him in person. His organs were shutting down. His heart was failing. He was hooked up to dialysis. He could not eat on his own. And for the next about 5 days, I stood and sat right by his side in the hospital. And on the 5th day, it was a Wednesday, I had an eye appointment, and I got a call from my aunt, and she told me that I should probably go up to the hospital to say my goodbyes to him because they wanted to take him off of everything and allow him to transition. It was something that I knew could happen, but I don't think it really registered with me. So I went there, and there were so many friends and just family there, but all I could think about was him and just how he was and how he was feeling. I stayed there until 11 o'clock, and I had plans to go back at 6 a.m. the next day. And my aunt and my uncle stayed behind to sit by his side. They took him off everything, and he began going into his transitional phase. I really thought that I was going to have an extra day to go back and just sit with him. But my aunt called me at 1:08 a.m. and she told me that he had officially transitioned. And for a moment, I could only think about him no longer being in pain, but it hurt deep down because you never prepare yourself for something like that. And it cut pretty deep. We celebrated my father in the most beautiful way. We spread his ashes in Clearwater, Florida. That was his wish. I was beside my brother Ryan and also my grandmother. And then I also planned a memorial for him in Grand Rapids, Michigan. After the loss of my father, I really had to learn to not take life for granted. You just never know when your time is going to be. And I just feel like in this season of my life, I have experienced so much loss. And it's been incredibly tough for me, but I know just through faith and family, I've been able to make it through. I break it down like life has been in 4 quarters for me. The first quarter was my diagnosis. The second quarter was going through each surgery. The third quarter was the loss of my father, and also just kind of feeling like I'm in this standstill. And now I'm in my 4th quarter, which I'm awaiting my, God willing, my 4th and last eye surgery now. It'll be on my right eye. And after that, I'm just ready to really just find myself again. Everything that I have lost, I feel like I've gained something new. And I'm really just grateful for God leading me through each and everything that I've gone through.
He is not walking with us in human form, but he is now walking through paradise, no longer in any pain. We do not know God's plan for us a week from here, a month from here, even a year from here. But I found it in my spirit to accept, forgive, and find peace in all that I do. During the last week of his life, while he was in the hospital, I spent 5 days by his side with so many of you, and I witnessed the strength behind love, family, and unity. I promised my dad I'd make it to Clearwater just for him. And although I didn't know the extent of that, I'm grateful and I'm honored to be here with all of you and to release his ashes alongside my brother and my grandma. I love all of you guys and thank you.
We love you too.